Hey guys, welcome back to a new module. In this module, we are going to talk about errors and exception. And errors are something that everyone is afraid of. We all know that a software developer is also a human being, and there are chances to commit errors while designing, while creating algorithm, while writing program, while doing any coding stuff. There are chances that we can stuck on errors. So the errors in a software are called as bugs, and the process of removing them, that is removing bugs, is called debugging. Let us learn about different type of errors that can occur in a program. So there are three main type of errors. First is compile time error, second is runtime error, and third one is logical error. Now let us talk about compile time error. These are syntactical errors found in our code, so due to which program fails to compile. If I talk about an example, if we forgot a colon or we forgot an indentation for our if, while, for or any function, so with the loops I am going to get a compile type error. And Python detect these things. And if you are using an IDE, then you don't have to worry much, but there are chances that you forgot these colon or the indentation. The second one is runtime error. So when Python virtual machine cannot execute the byte of code, it flags runtime error. For example, insufficient memory to store something, or incapability of Python virtual machine to execute some statement, or maybe you are trying to perform some tasks which cannot be possible. These all comes under runtime error. The third one is logical error. So these error depicts because of the problem with our logic in our program. So the programmer might be using wrong formula, or he might try to calculate something else and try to print something else, or he might not focusing on float, int, or the logics behind formatting. So these all errors come under logical error. So that means if you have something that is related to format, logic, it will be under logical error. If you have some problem with your colons, indentation or writing, that would be into our compile time error. And all the other things that get error after we compile are into runtime. That means when we run our program, when we execute our program, at that point of time we get errors. These all are runtime errors. Now without wasting any time, let us perform these errors so you will be more comfortable. So the first example that I am taking is compile time error. So I have taken a simple basic example. Here I have defined my variable x equals to 1 and then my if condition. So if this particular condition is right, I am going to print hello world. And if I try to run this program, you can see I got a syntax error and it's saying that invalid syntax. And if I check out my line number 3, you can see I forgot my colon. So this is my compile time error. That means while compiling my code, I got this error. And why I say compile time? Because even if I add some print statement, it is not going to print that. If it was a runtime error, then it would execute line first, line second, line third, and if there is any error, it would stop from that particular line. But in runtime, we have executed certain lines. But with compile time, that means we haven't executed any line, we are just compiling. So if I try to add a print statement here, and if I try to run this program again, you can see I am not even printing my hello. That means even at line number 2, I am not printing this, because in our compilation itself, we got that error. Now let us move to my runtime error. So let me clear this up and talk about my runtime error. So here I have created a simple function about concatenation, and I am passing wrong values. That means if I am trying to perform a concatenation, I should pass string. But here I am trying to pass a string and an integer. And if I run this one, you can see I got an error. That is a type error, and it says that I cannot concatenate string and integer to string. So this is our runtime error. And how to understand that? So if I add a print statement here, and if I try to run this one again, you can see I have printed my first line of code and then I got error. So while compile time error, I was not executing any line. Here in runtime error, I performed my first line of code, I checked out my function, and then while executing my function, I got this error. So this is runtime error. The third one is logical error. So I have written a simple program to calculate the increment of salary by 20%. I have created a function in which I am passing an argument of 1000 as salary, and here I am calculating my salary. I also created an object in which I am going to get my return and just printing that. It's simple. Let me clear this up and run my program. You can see I got my incremented salary as 200, but my current salary is 1000. So that means there is something wrong. I'm just calculating only 20%, but I should calculate my 1000 plus 20% because that would be my incremented salary. So here I'm just calculating the incremented part, but not my actual salary. So that's the logic failure, and what I just need to do is I just need to add my current salary, that is 1000, 20% of that 1000, and then sum it up into my salary. That was simple, and let me save this one and run this again. You can see I got my incremented salary as 1200. So this was some basic stuff about error and how or what is the possibility of error that can occur. In the next lecture, we'll be talking about exception. So see you in the next one.